Welcome back, everybody. I'm actually going to start the last video I did. I got kind of, I would say, lost a little bit um, with how this was going. I would say I got a little distracted, a little lost, but we're going to basically put the houses on the island. I highly recommend watching the previous video on how I got here because I don't want to go through all of it again. But I got to the point where I was snapping the houses onto the island and I was struggling, so took a break. Now I'm back. Now we're going to try it again. The first thing that has been helpful is if you want to look at just one object without having to like hide all of them individually like this, you can click on the object you want, go to view and local view, toggle local view. I don't have a number pad, but there we go, just like that. And when you are done with that, you can toggle local view back. If that is more comfortable for you, you can go for that. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other, but one thing I wanted to do with that is talk about the grid snapping. So local view, toggle local view. So this is the top of the building right now. And you can tell, if I go back here, you can tell I'm a little bit off. See how there's a little bit of, if I go back here, there's a little bit up to right there. There's a half chunk over there. I'm not really snapped to any grid. So when we talk about snapping increments, if I go here, you can kind of feel the little bit of the snapping deal, but that can also be rotation. It gets complicated, but the main difference is that when you snap to the grid, you are hitting the actual squares. Now, a big thing that I need, or I need to know in the future, is how to make the snapping go. Well, there, look at that. Okay, so snapping, let's before snapping, let's put it like right there. All right, so it's kind of, it's not in any corner. So we're gonna snap increments. Now, if you can tell, see how it kind of stays in that same halfway spot? So like it's kind of halfway between those lines. This isn't exact. I can't say I know exactly what I'm doing with this, but if I go to grid and do the snapping, it's going to snap right to the corners. So if you want something where everything is snapped, like designing something or something where it has to be really precise, you may want to do grid snapping. Now, if there's a way to make the grid smaller or bigger, I'm not positive on that, but let's toggle, let's get that off. Let's toggle this back on just so I kind of know what's going on. Okay, so I'm here, back here like this. Now I want to have it where I snap, go into edit mode. Just for an experiment. So this is, remember, Shift A is your friend. I'm going to make a cube. Going to put it over, just over, let's say way over here. And then I'm moving way over there. Good. Okay. So right now I have no snapping, but I want to snap to a face. So like how I would at the island. I have a big cube here. I don't know how it's going to snap. If it will. Oh, it's not even on. So that's a reference here. So this is with no snapping. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going inside the cube and I'm just outside of the cube. Let's move it a little bit so I'm kind of in the middle. Just eyeballing it. So here, let's see the big reveal. There we go. So if you can tell, so if I'm here, I'm snapping onto the right here. So I'm snapping on there. Now, can I snap on? So I'm snapping perfectly there. I'm snapping perfectly on that side. So let's get rid of that again and move it up a little bit higher. Now, they talked about moving the... So for that... Oh boy. Ooh. Fun fact that I just figured out. So I hold down the G to, well, I click the G to start moving. If I click and hold the middle mouse button, it does all three of them for me. Now, this may help you, this may not. That's kind of, and so like if I'm on the blue, so see how it's highlighted green? If I'm on the green, I'm like that. If I'm on the red, I stay on the red one. So I'm holding middle mouse button, letting go. Holding middle mouse button, letting go. Well, that was fun to find. So we have, they wanted the, okay. Okay, so he has it where it is center. And what that means is that it's going to take this dot as the reference if I am correct. So if I am correct, it will hopefully go yes. So see how that, I know that's kind of a, so there is no snapping. So there's, if we can see the snapping right there. So he wants me to put this dot on the bottom of the object. Okay. So he went to options, affect only. So this is transform only the origin. Okay, now let me press the G key. Oh, okay. So this is that little origin spot. So let's put it almost right on the bottom. Sorry if I went a little fast there. I think this is what he wants. I'm going to see him do it. Actually, I'm just going to do it. I don't need him to tell me. So I moved the point of origin from the middle down to, actually that's going to make life harder for you, on the base right here. So cross your fingers, it should snap to the grid. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so we know in theory, this should work when I bring it down to the mountain. So let's see how my mountain handles it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Okay. So let's do that one. Okay, so it basically is. So if we want to move all of these, let's get rid of this just so I can move it out of the way. Let's. Okay, it looks like he's. I know you can't see what I'm seeing. I'm sorry. So. Okay. Wireframe. Let's. Okay, so let me see if I did this correctly. So it only affects the origin. So if I were. No. Hey, okay. So let's back that up. Object mode. Right there. Okay. This is back to normal with, if we want, that's hard to see. This is wireframe. It'll make things easier. I go to options, origin. So we're in the object mode right now. So if I were to move, it would move only the origin. Now, if I go to edit mode, and then A is to select all, since this is just this object, and I move the object, the origin stays in the same spot. Now, I don't know if you want to do one or the other. Let me make sure it stays. Let me go back to object mode. And then if we do it right, yep, it should stay there. So if you want to do it that way, maybe that's easier. Let's. All right. See, there's much more watching. I'm here though. Don't panic. Okay. So there's one way or the other, and what I can do there. So let's take there's my fancy house. I'm gonna get rid of this cube. I'm gonna move this over here. Move this over here. I'm gonna put a 7. Click 7 here. I am doing it this way because I want all of the houses to have the same origin point in terms of... Ooh. Now I could move this, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Keep it down there. Keep it down there. Now, is that correct? Yep. Okay. So they aren't, hopefully... Where we go? Okay. Let's select all these, minus the plane. This should work even though they're not placed, you know, right next to each other perfectly. And if I go to transform the origin only, let's cross our fingers here. I clicked G and then Z. So let's say G, Z, and they all are moving the same exact way. So all of the bases are going to be in the same spot in terms of the houses. So like the houses are all kind of on the same page, so to speak. So let's now there must be a way for me to lock. I know there has to be a way somewhere to lock this plane where I can't highlight it, but oh, we'll see. I'm going to take the effect only origin now, and then I've had this kind of x-ray thing on, by the way, to a little bit easier, best of both worlds. And I'm going to have snapping. Just got random spots right now and see. Because I can tell they're not like rotating, but they are basically landing on the ground. So they basically are. So an example would be like this is on the ground, but it's also sticking up a little bit. So I might move it. Oh, it's doing the increment thing. This is where I'll, let's, there. And then let's just move it slightly inward. This little guy's sticking out like, that works for me. Okay. And then from here, let's say, I like how he's just kind of trapped in there. I could kind of rotate it to make it like really right on top of it. I kind of like it that way. But for right now, we have the basic idea of getting it onto the island, get the houses onto the island. And I like what I see so far. Looks like this got stuck in the crater. Almost. It's... Yeah, we gotta make sure the snapping's always turned on and off depending on what we're doing. And of course you are able to, you can edit the island to fit the house or the house to fit the island kind of deal, if that makes sense. So they're not perfectly with the topology, but let's line rotation to target. Oh, okay, he's doing exactly what I wanted to. Let's There. Okay. So what? Let's get this guy all the way up here. And it looks like line rotation to target. So this should there. Ooh, that's what I want. That's why you just keep trying, right? This is why you keep going and you keep trying. So now it's like fully on top of the topology. It's not just like, oh, I love it. I love it, even though this is kind of stuck in here. Oh, this is delightful. This is what I wanted. I wanted to kind of look a bit oblong there. Oh, all right, guys. So yeah, remember, that's a big thing for me. Align rotation to target. I'm going to keep that on. I don't see why I wouldn't want it to be. Wow, okay, that was a... Oh, he doesn't want it. It is a useful option. Okay, he's doing other ones. Okay, let's... He now... And I could, like... Let's see. I could watch his whole thing and then tell you about it. But let's see, rotation. So that should be... Yeah. I could do that, but I feel like seeing me struggle at the same time helps. That's my thought. If that's something that you wish I wouldn't do, that is fine. Let me know. So what they're saying now is that if I go there and I go, let's see. Let's see here. He goes, so we did a line rotation. I'm doing that. Okay. Now let's see what he's doing. Face. Okay. Now we're going to do the face project first. So theoretically, they should all line up. So you see how they were kind of together, and now as we move them, they're snapping to different parts of the topology. So see how they're in different areas now. Now the big thing, cross your fingers because I would love this. Line rotation to target. Let's see if they do it. Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's... Yeah, let's put a bunch here. Let's just pretend someone got excited and built like 4 houses in a row. I don't know why that's so satisfying to me. So I still got to remember. So a line rotation to target. As of now, I'm always going to keep that on. And then I'm going to get rid of... Oh. And it looks like that... Snap your houses. Okay, I did the whole thing here. Now, okay, this is perfect. I am. Let's see, I'm going forward. Okay. So let's highlight all these. They're talking about these 4 houses. Let's highlight all these. They all got the same origin point with their own individual houses, I mean. So if I were to scale, they kind of all scale to the middle. Correct. Now, if I do individual origin, they stay. So look how, see how the dot's not moving? They stay where they are and move. So if I have it, it's almost like it creates as one object. So if you have the box center, it's like one object, and individual origin does it. Let's say median point. Okay, it kind of keeps the same distance from everybody. And 3D cursor, it's over here. All right, I don't see myself ever using that, or for the case right now, I will not. It won't happen. So I'm and then so median point is how it always like that's the what's the word the default. Let's see. So Shift D is to duplicate, and how it stays. So these are 2 duplicate. Yeah. Yeah. Now we're gonna get rid of that. So duplicate is Shift D, but duplicate linked is it's Alt D, but my thing goes away with that. I'll do it this way. So these guys are linked. I'm going to see what that means. Okay. That kind of my guess. So whatever I do to one object, get rid of the. Whenever things go really crazy, most likely have snapping on. So these are all the same. So what I do to one, I do to the other. So I guess an example would be if for some reason you had a whole bunch of pigs on this island, but you realize you wanted the pigs to have a third eye instead of going to each pig individually and like modeling a third eye on them. At the very beginning, if you made all the pigs linked together, um, you would just have to affect one, and it would affect all of them over. Um, I can see myself using this. I know when the time comes, I'll have it. So if you want, let's get rid of. So if you want the same object, but you don't want them, if you want to edit them differently, is Shifty. So like for, I can mess with this one and then nothing happens. Then I can mess with this one and see they started the same, but they're not. But if I do the Alt D, my keyboard doesn't let me do that. If I start messing with it, it'll mess with the other one, and vice versa. Doesn't necessarily have to be the duplicate. It can be either one. Okay, we did that. Okay, so he's saying like if you wanted to add like a chimney and have all the houses have chimneys. Oh, you can unlink them. So okay, object menu. Okay, so then these were technically connected. So if I go to object and relations, the single, so now it should, yep. So let's link them back. So these are not linked to start with. I don't know how much I'm gonna use this. I mean, there is gonna be. Okay, so Control L is gonna help me link. So I think. All right, link object and data. There. So we have, let's see. Oh, I forgot. Okay, let's do a duplicate. So let's try to remember what it was, because it was Alt D. So Shift D is duplicate. Let's put the snap back on. Shift D is duplicate. They aren't related. If I mess with one, it doesn't mess with the other. Alt D, which I can't do, duplicate linked. Now, if I mess with one, I mess with the other. Now let's make these two are not linked. These are just duplicate. Put them together. Was it? Let's see. Yeah, Shift L. So Shift L, and I can link their data. Thought I did. Let's see. So these two, let's make sure it's just a duplicate. Yep. It's just a duplicate. And let me see how he set it one more time. So let's put them together. I believe object relations single user. object and data. That should, nope. All right, we're gonna do this together. All right, those two I duplicated, but they're not linked. All right, so let's see here. Okay. Control L, object and data. Okay. There. Okay. Hopefully that made sense. I'm gonna So I did that, so I'll write it in the description reference. Look for the time I mess with the screen. That's when we talked about this linking and unlinking situation. Okay, let's. So he made a bunch of other houses. I kind of like how these look. So I'm going to go through his a little bit quicker. My houses are much bigger than his. I wonder. Mine's almost like a little bit of the opposite. Like the island part is higher with tiny houses, and then this part is lower with a bigger lighthouse about the same. I didn't do that to be a rebel. It just came out that way. And I believe this looks beautiful. So my guess is that we are going to be working on the materials to make this look fancy. Oh boy, okay. So by the way, like I'm listening and doing this, like this is the first time I'm hearing it and the first time I'm doing it. So I just hope that style helps you a little bit. So just remember that this is the shading. Whoa. And what we can do here, so remember anything on the upper left corner, you can change that to whatever you want. Even if you want like a mini one for some reason, I don't know. If you want to combine, like I want to make this have more room, I believe you click on the upper, yep, and you kind of drag, yep, over that way. And then if you want to make a new one, start from the right top and slide over. So let me make sure you can see. Yep. Now, can I go this way? Yeah. Okay. So, yep. So, right top, you can bring it down. Right top, bring it down, make something new. You want to combine it, join areas that way, or join areas that way. You can do that. He wants it to be like that, which I agree on. That folder thing, I never liked. And then this is the HDRI, high dynamic. Oh. High dynamic range interface. I'm gonna look this up. HDRI. High dynamic range image. So that's like one big old image back there. And I am going to take a stab at it and guess that, well, I'm actually going to do it if he likes or not. What a rebel. I'm going to make the water. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to save it before we go any further. But of course, remember, we can always delete this stuff when the time comes in every object. It's not connected. But I do, if I want to, say this, and I want it to have that same object because I named this texture water. And these are where all the textures are. So I see texture water, and now it's the same one, but I don't want that. I don't want any of that. So let's, I wonder if I'm able to just, yeah. Okay, it's X'd out, so this has no material. This has blue, and I am going to see what, let's see, did the water, I like how this looks, man. Okay, and realize I have no real lighting on. It's like this is the light because it's not the render. So the light's actually coming from that high dynamic range image, which can be changed. Okay. Okay. I gave the rocket texture. Oh, yeah. Oh, he wants reflective. All right. We'll see how that is reflecting the image, the high dynamic. Yeah. Okay. Let's make sure. I think this is the render. All right, so it's rendering for the reflection Eevee, and then the ray tracing. Oh. So we can see a little bit of the reflection of the, let's, so this one's got two textures. I'm gonna say roof. House plaster. All right, and realize that if this was linked, like if all of these were linked, if I change one material, it's going to change it for the rest. But okay. We have a new slot. Let's create new. I'm going to call it house. He called it plaster. Oh, no, he did roof. I did house and then roof. That's... And so I want... Yeah, I want that to be the roof. Okay, and now he's doing the double. Let's... Okay, edit mode. Faces. Oh. Let's... Uh-oh. Okay. Let's try this. So I'm gonna originally call this one the house. I did it backwards, I know. So I'm making that the house color. Okay. And then this is called the roof. Oh, I got cap lock. Oof. And then the roofs are going to be like a deep orange. So if I had this and they were all like, if I had like duplicates that were all connected, if I changed the materials here, it would go onto the other ones. I don't have that. I'm okay without it, but now I have to see how he connected the roof. Okay, so now I have the roof, and he wants... Oh, let's see if I can do view local. Okay, that... Oh, well... All right, doing the roof. So this is the colors that are going to change the roof. And I did local view to do this, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So I'm in edit mode. Yep. Got it. Yep. Why do I have... it's okay. Let's see. Make sure it's roof. I'm going to go slow-mo with him. Yep. Oh, and a sign. Okay. So these are highlighted. And I'm going with the roof and a sign. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And then local view, toggle it. Ooh, look at that. Now it's like that. So let's pretend that, so now I duplicated it, but they're not like connected. So if I highlight this part and go assign, it's going to do that. Hip hip hooray. Let's get rid of, now if I do a, let's see, would it be under, do I do under layout? Let's see if I can remember here. I think it was object mode. Yep. Okay, object. It was Alt D. Duplicated, linked. Okay. I say okay too many times. And we have edit mode. Let's just make sure they're connected. Yep. Okay. So if I were to go here, click that one, and assign, there we go. Okay. Goodbye. And let's see if, so with that, I would have to change it. Why do I have, oh, house, roof, water. I think one of those is, okay, material 001 is island. And so let's type this. Ooh, I like how that looks. House, roof. Ooh, I like how that looks. And then water. Ooh, reflection. Material. Yeah, I don't even think that was anything. So house, island. Can't I get rid of this? I don't know. For some reason, there's material, and I don't need it. Material. One. Here, we're just gonna go to island. Those materials I don't need, or they aren't things. So I know there's probably a way to delete it, but for right now, I'm just going to keep it as it is. And then, so what I can do for the rest of these, if we have a little montage here, I'm going to keep the same. Do I want to keep the same? I'll keep the same for a few of them. So like for this one, I will do the same color scheme as the other one here. So if I go under tab and highlight the roof, I should be able to see slot 1, slot 2. So that's the roof. So roof and house. So if I copy, and there's, oh, let's do the local view thing, because I like that. Local view toggle. So if I highlight all the areas I want it to be the house, and these slots go along with this object. And I believe if I do that and assign it, there we go. Perfect. So like the more slots, the better. Or like every slot is like a different section. I don't want to get too complicated. We can see how this is. So this holds a material and this holds a material. And so even if I just want one part to be the roof, I assign. Think of these as like a color palette, almost like a paintbrush thing, like red, blue, green, and you assign what you want here. But this is, hopefully that makes sense. I think that makes sense here. Okay. I'm going to make sure I have a toggle view and local view, some kind of tab. Do I want all of the houses to be the same? Let's have all the houses be the same color and then the roof's different. How about that? So let's see if I can highlight all of them. Let's see if I can do this. No, looks like I can't. Looks like I probably could. So 2 slots for there. 2 slots, so every slot has its own texture. So let's see. So house is for that one. Okay. So 2 slots, house. So brand new here. 2 slots. One of them be the house. See, like that. Let's do that here. This is why if you want the same building multiple times, that makes this easier so you don't have to go one at a time like I am right now. 2 slots. One is the house. Wonder why that's not doing it. This one did it. House. House. Okay. House. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of. So all of them have this, so should be there. House. There. Okay, I don't know what happened. So let's see here. Local view, toggle local view, toggle local view. Let's see. Toggle key map, toggle local. Oh, I'm all in cap lock. Toggle local. Let's right here. Okay. Now, is there a way? Let's see. Oh, the function key. Left arrow? Let's see if that does it. Okay, let's see what happens. Local view. Toggle local view. It does not want me to do it. So let's toggle. Well, I'll just say local. Restore. Can't I do like a shift question mark? Local view, local view. Let's do restore. Remove. I got 3 local views. Toggle local view. Uh, okay, whatever. I'll figure that out outside of here, but let's quickly, before I end the stream today, let's color in the rest of these uh, roofs. So here, edit mode, view. See, I gotta copy this view, local. So I should be able to. Oh, I did it. Okay, cool, cool. There, okay. Awesome. So I put that as a hotkey. You don't have to. I personally like the vibe of especially having like the background. And so this one, gonna make the color purple. Oh, that's easy. Okay. And then let's make this one very satisfying when the hotkey you did actually works. And I had this opened, so it's like, let's make it have a pink roof. So like with this slots, I'm trying to make it easy to understand, like to explain it almost to me. So if there was only one here, that means this whole thing could only have that material. If you have more slots, it's like more colors you can work with or more things you can work with. And so that's when like I add another color to the palette. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to word it better. But if you want multiple materials having multiple slots, you're gonna have to have multiple slots. Okay, so that's pinkish, that's purple. Let's have this guy. Should we have him be and then of course I could keep these, I could call these materials like purple, white, blah blah blah, but I'm not. Let's have it be maybe like a gray or maybe like a black. I don't want it to cover in the roof again. There, okay. We're getting there. We're getting there, people. So remember I have to go to object mode. So I can't be in edit mode and click the other one. It's gotta be in object mode before I do local view, and then back into edit mode. New. Let's have this have like kind of a dark green maybe. Yeah, like a tree. And I'll assign it to, oh, so there, assign it. So see how this has the house material, this has the green roof material. This guy's almost hidden. Let's try to, let's change. No, I don't. I want that to be a happy color. Let's have it be there. I'll take that. And then I could make like, we could be doing like different patterns or textures, but I'm just doing basic colors. And then let's, here for slot 2, so I have the purple here. Oh. So I'm picking the random. So that purple is actually from the same exact purple as this one. So let's see if I can, back into object, there, edit, make sure to have a second slot for the roof. Let's see, no, not material 2, not material 3, not material 4. Was it just material? No. Material 001? No. Oh, was it just like normal? It was just like normal roof. Okay. There we go. And we're going to have the green one back into object, back into edit, add a slot for the roof, add the dark green. I want dark green there. And then if we have questions on this, let me know. And then maybe I do the dark blue so it's like almost all the colors here. All right. Last one. And then let's see here. Stream's been about an hour. Yeah, I should average the streams to be an hour. So then after this one, we're going to call it. I think it's, or let's see what I'm going to keep looking at what he's doing. He's doing more roofs. Doing more roofs. Looks like he's doing a lot of roofs. Oh, he did everything I did. Okay. So the next thing is to color the lighthouse, but I am going to do that next time. All right. But let's do this one more time. What color do I want it? Oh, I wanted the dark. Roof. Add a slot for the roof, which I did. Oh, I want the dark. Is that? I don't know if was that the dark? See, I gotta get rid of that extra material. That's pink. That doesn't seem, so let's actually just go to them. See what material looks like material 4. Now if I type that the color, then it would be easier to tell. Okay, and edit material 4. Uh-oh. I don't want that. No, that's the house. So I want the house, that, and then there. Okay, perfect. Look at that. Oof. All right. And then depending on, oh, I almost made like a little thing you can go under. That's okay. So we are going to call it there for today. I will see you next time. And I've been like, I might post longer ones or maybe 2 in a day. I don't know. I'm just hopefully, if you really want to follow along, I do it, you do it. Almost kind of deal. But that's it for this one, and we will see you tomorrow. Guaranteed. Um, every day, one of these, and I'm hoping by the end, not the end, but by Friday that we can do a little bit of animation, and I am just doing a 3D bowling alley animation. All right. Have a good rest of the afternoon and take care. Bye.